Mr. President, this is a time of extraordinary crisis for our nation. In this time of crisis, I call upon each of our colleagues on both sides of the aisle to rise above. Rise above petty partisanship. Rise above the bickering that so often consumes Washington. Rise above and put first the priorities of the millions of Americans who are hurting. Look, there is a time for political disagreements. There's a time for policy disagreements. I am no stranger to robust political and policy disagreements. But we are in the midst of a global pandemic. People are dying. People are suffering. Last night, when this Senate voted on whether to move forward with emergency relief legislation for the millions of people being devastated by the economic disaster we're seeing as a result of the coronavirus epidemic, every single Democrat in this body voted to block consideration of this bill. Now, for those of you at home who are not poring over a Senate procedural matter, what does it mean to vote to block consideration? It doesn't mean they voted against the bill. It means they voted against even starting to take it up. The New York Times headline moments afterwards said, Democrats block $1.7 trillion stimulus bill. Of course, that headline had the fault of being accurate. And so within minutes, the New York Times changed it to Democrats block $1.7 trillion stimulus bill, citing worker concerns. That was headline number 2. But then apparently the partisan leanings in the New York Times were too strong for that. And so they revised it a third time to say partisan division halts discussion of the bill. No, it wasn't partisan division. It was one party, the Democratic Party, saying to this chamber and the American people, hell no. We won't even take this up and discuss it. At a time of crisis, at a time when people are dying, that's wrong. That's shameful. When we awakened this morning, following the Democrats' obstruction, worldwide, there were 372,563 reported cases of the coronavirus. In the hours since then, just today, there have been an additional 23,352 cases reported today. While the Democrats are blocking the bill, 23,000 new cases today. In the United States, when we started this morning, there were 35,224 cases this morning. Right now, as of the latest numbers, there are 41,708 cases in the United States today. That means we've had an additional 6,484 cases today while the Democrats are blockading. And by the way, where are the Democrats? C-SPAN doesn't show this whole chamber often, but it'd be nice if they did, because that entire side of the chamber is empty. They're not showing up for work. They're not doing their job. In Texas this morning, there had been 668 cases. As of right now, there's 722, 54 more cases today, while the Democrats are blocking consideration of this bill. How about deaths? Look, as we look at this crisis, there are people right now gasping for breath. You and I, we have friends who have been diagnosed with this disease. We've read stories, we've talked to people who've struggled under it. I heard from one individual who's hospitalized right now that breathing felt like a belt strapped across his chest, that he could barely breathe. As of this morning, worldwide, there had been 16,381 deaths. Now that's the number now. This morning it was only 15,308. That means today while the Democrats have been blocking this bill, 1,073 additional people died. In the United States, as of this morning, there were 471 deaths reported due to coronavirus. As of right now, it's 573. That means today, 102 Americans died, while the Democrats were blocking consideration of this bill. In Texas, as of this morning, there had been 8 deaths. Now, there are 9. 1 Texan died, while half this chamber refused to show up and do their job. Now, this morning, when we voted again, we saw the first signs of cracks as one Democrat, senator from Alabama, who had voted no yesterday, decided this morning, well, maybe we should take up the bill. One Democrat.